The book. Chapter 7, Responsibilities of the Christian Home. What a holy charge is theirs, with what a kingly power their love might rule the fountains of the newborn mind. Warn them to wake at early dawn and sow good seed before the world has sown its tares. From the potent influence and moral stewardship of the Christian home, we may infer its responsibility. The former is the argument for the latter. The extent of the one is the measure of the other. To whom much is given, of them much is required. Our responsibilities are thus commensurate with our abilities. If the latter are properly devoted, we have our reward. If not, our curse. God will hold us accountable for the achievements we make by the abilities He has given us. If He gives us a field to cultivate, seed to sow, plants to train up, then we are responsible for the harvest, just in proportion to our agency in its production. If there is not a harvest of the right kind because we neglected to cultivate the soil, to sow the proper seed, and to train up the plants, then He will hold us accountable, and we shall not come out thence till we have paid the uttermost farthing. This is an evident gospel principle. Who will doubt its application to the Christian home? And no, it's not up to me to make sure that someone else pays the last farthing for how they treated someone else's spirit, soul, in raising them. Bodily, yes, because if you don't provide proper nutrition and nurture and care, yes, you can take them to a true justice system and get God and the laws applied. And yes, you get rewarded for being good, and you get disciplined for going against God and the laws, because that's justice. It's called righteousness. Anyways, this is an evident gospel principle. Who will doubt its application to the Christian home? The family is such a field. The seed of good or evil the parents can sow therein. Their children are young and tender plants, entrusted to their care. Their mission from God is to bring them up in His nurture and to train them in His ways. And where God gives the command, He also gives the power to obey. If then by their neglect these tender plants are blighted, grow up in the crooked ways of folly and iniquity, and the leprosy of sin spread its dreadful infection over all the prosperity of home, if as a consequence of their unfaithfulness the family becomes a moral desolation, and the anathemas of unnumbered souls in perdition rise up in the day of judgment against them, or if, on the other hand, as the fruit of their faithful steward, blessings and testimonials of gratitude are now pouring forth from the sainted loved ones in glory, is it not plain that a responsibility rests upon the Christian home, commensurate, COMMENSURATE, with those abilities which God has given her, and with those interests He has entrusted to her care? Let us look at the objective force of this. The family is responsible for the kind of influence she exerts upon her members. Look at this in its practical light. There is a family. God has given children to the parents. How fondly they cling to them and look up to them for support and direction. And I will end there. And no, I'm not talking about any of that. You may think that, but I'm just talking about ideas and facts. And yes, I'm inquiring and investigating about my world like a good theosophist. And if you don't understand that, maybe you should start reading the Illinois State Constitution, which supports self-actualization. Whether or not your community, whether or not your family, whether or not your friends, whether or not the justice system supports what they should be or not. So, have a great day. May you ponder upon the words that I just spoke out of that book to think about, what is family? What is it here for? Is it to build up the person and society and a nation? Or is it just here to destroy in any way, shape, and form that you can? Because you're able to. Toodaloo. Have a great day.